What's going on, team? Coach Dex here. Most of you guys know I'm a pose method running technique specialist. What pose method is we take the overall movement pattern of running and we break it down into 3 practicable steps, 3 practicable stages. Through that practice, you're able to build a better perception or a better idea of what your body should be feeling while you're running, which in turn will lead you to running further, faster, and with a smaller chance of injury. So let's go ahead and break down what these stages are. The very first frame of our 3 frames that you're gonna have to get comfortable with is your pose position. Running is a constant switching of support legs. Pose on one side, pose on the other side. How you'll find that space is to stand with your feet about shoulder width apart, chest is up, shoulders are back and down, you got a slight bend in your knees, and you're gonna lean forward just a little bit. Shift that body weight forward so that you feel your weight shift to the balls of your feet. From there, one heel comes up under your hip, and that's your pose position. We're switching from pose on one leg, pose on the other leg during your run every single step, and those who can do that the most efficiently, those who are the most strong and most stable in this pose position are the best runners. Every time you hit this pose, your body weight multiplied by your speed is put on to your single leg stance. So again, you have to be strong and stable in this position. Pose one leg, pose other leg, and that's how you run. You'll get comfortable in your pose position by spending more time there. Get into that single leg stance and play with your body weight. Let yourself shift forward. Feel that weight shift to the front of your foot. Let your body weight shift backward. Feel it shift to the heel. Same thing going side to side. You want to perceive how your weight feels in that pose position. Same thing on the other foot. You can do things like this while you're standing in line, while you're brushing your teeth at home, while you're doing dishes. All great times and ways to challenge that single leg pose position that's going to be so important to you as a runner. The next frame that you want to be familiar with, to be comfortable with, is the fall. And that probably sounds kind of crazy because you've likely spent most of your life trying to be better at not falling. But falling is how we position ourselves against gravity to utilize free energy to move forward rather than using muscular effort by pushing and driving and all those aggressive words that are kind of the opposite of the flow of running. How you're going to find your fall is you're going to get into an athletic position, so feet about shoulder width apart, slight bend in the knees, chest up, shoulders are back, kind of like your pose position, but both feet still on the ground here initially, and you're going to shift your body weight forward. Shift your center of mass forward. You're not leaning forward here, but maintain that nice straight line. Think about shifting your hips forward, and feel that energy pulling you in that direction. Again, you shift forward as far as you can before you have to start moving forward, and that's that fall feeling that we're looking for. That is going to get you moving forward rather than, again, pushing off your butt and driving those knees, which are terms that are going to take a lot of energy. You want to use that fall. The last frame, and the most important if you're asking me, is the pull. That's how you're getting your body into the air, and that's one of the significant differences between running and walking, is that running does have that flight phase. You get into the air when you're running. So to do that, you're pulling your foot off the ground. We're not going to drive into the earth to try to propel ourselves forward as we're going through that fall that we talked about last round. You're pulling. You're thinking heel up under your butt, using your hamstring to make that happen. Pull. This is also a move that you can do tons of drills for to perceive what you should be feeling while you're running. And when I say perceive, when you're running, you should feel your hamstring pulling up. The faster you're running, the more it's coming from back here, but it's still that same pull. Heel up under my hip. Not a butt kick, not a knee drive, but a straight heel up under my hip. One of the reasons why that pull is so important is because it's how you switch support legs, and that's how you make forward progress. So, if you're in your fall, in that pose position, so I'm in my pose, I'm gonna let my body weight shift forward, I pull. I'm not pushing off of that back leg. I'm falling forward, and I pull, which takes significant less energy than pushing and driving yourself forward. So when you're running, squad, you're not thinking about landing, you're not thinking about driving. Your main thought is pull, up, 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 up. As you pull one up, if you're only thinking about up, that other foot should drop automatically under your center of gravity where you want it to. Up, pull, 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 pull. All right, team, now we have those three frames in our head. You've got your pose frame, you've got your fall frame, and then you've got that pull to switch support legs so you can land back in your pose position and fall into your next stride. And I kind of want to start combining these bad boys. And this is a really good drill for you to practice, especially when you're doing run-walk intervals. As you go from your walk into your run, because those are two separate movement patterns, you can do this drill. How we're going to start is by running in place. Yes, this is running in place. The slower you're running, the lower your pull is. So if you're not a very fast runner yet, you should practice running in place with a nice low pull. If you are faster, you can practice that pattern with a higher pull. That takes a little more hamstring strength. So we're running in place right here, and now we're going to go into that fall. I'm going to let my body weight shift forward, and now I'm moving forward. Fall, 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 fall. Again, I'm not pressing myself forward. That slide forward lean makes it so now my body wants to go forward, and I'm just pulling to switch support legs. Fall, fall, up, up, up. How you would use that in your intervals is you finish your walking recovery, or even if you feel your form slipping up a little bit during the middle of your jog, you stop. Now I'm no longer walking, now I'm running. Run in place to start, just to feel the motion of that pull, that up and down, and then I fall forward. And that's going to be different than from being in your walk, and then going from your walk just to that bigger walk where you're throwing your foot forward, it's slowing your cadence down, it's beating your body up, and it's overworking your muscles. So get back into that run in place jog, and then lean forward and start moving. All right, squad, I'm on the treadmill at like a 13-minute pace, and I'm using way too much energy. Pushing off that back leg is making it so my upper body's swinging more, and I've got a lot of up and down, which is beating me up. This is much more ideal. Quicker cadence, lighter on the feet, tighter arm swing. That's gonna make sure that I'm getting into the air quickly and fighting gravity a little bit less. So quick and light on the feet. Same deal, as you start to go faster and faster, it gets worse. Now I'm really slamming and pushing and wasting energy. Here's the same speed here. You can see just how much lighter, how much more efficient that stride looks as I focus on my pull rather than driving myself forward. And then again, even faster on the speed. Just look how much energy it takes to push forward, and then I still have to pull and get my foot all the way back forward. Same speed, quicker, tighter, lighter. This is what we want, team. Pull that foot up off the ground, keep that arm swing nice and tight, and this is how you're gonna stay injury free. All right, squad, those are some things that I want you guys to think about. Pulling that foot up off the ground, landing as close as you can to your next pose position, and that means you can't reach forward. You don't wanna swing that leg out, because then it takes more time to get into your pose rather than just landing as close as you can to that position. When you're pulling, the faster you're running, the higher that pull is. So if you're not running very fast, that pull is gonna be nice and low, team. You don't take bigger steps to run faster. You end up taking bigger steps because you're running faster. So just focus on that pull, focus on that fall, focus on building your aerobic base as we go through these miles, and you'll improve. Let's do it.